What's up, everybody? It is Matt from ElectricAllWheel, and today we have the Lectric XP 2.0 JW Black with the Gates carbon belt drive system. And you know what it is. We are going to be adding a second 48-volt battery. We are going to install it right here in the most perfect of perfect spots because Lectric added the bottle cage mounts to the frame of this bike. It is beautiful. It is an excellent position to add a second battery, and we are super stoked about that. We're also going to be adding a bike case suspension seat post with Cloud 9 seat for the best ride possible. This is a Cloud 9 suspension seat as well. And then this post is a 27.2 millimeter with a 31.8 millimeter shim. Perfect fit for this bike. Keep in mind that we do have the ElectricAllWheel thumb throttle kit for Lectric, and we also have the ElectricAllWheel universal kit for a variety of aftermarket bikes that use the 3-pin Gillette system, which this bike does, but we do have one specifically for Lectric. We will leave links for all of these products and more in the description below, including an affiliate link for the bike itself. And we appreciate you guys utilizing those links to help keep this channel going. Stick around to the end of the video where we will give you some range calculations utilizing the Mica toll constant, so you'll see how far you can get on your dual battery setup with the factory battery plus the second aftermarket 48-volt battery on the down tube. We're super excited about this. You can thank me later for the addition of the suspension seat post. If you're going to be going all of this range, it is well worthwhile. I think maybe, perhaps in the future, we may test out some 20x3 Allscape tires on the Lectric XP Lite 2.0. Just give it a more aggressive look. But with the width of that, we're going to have to be conscious of the fork width. And then if we decide to do fender additions, it might get in the way. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out E-Bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. It's been a long time since we've done a dual battery install, so let's get to it. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and remove the screws that come with the bottle cage mounts for the bike. Now keep in mind, for this, you will need to get some different screws with a shallower head. This allows for the battery to slide over on the mounting plate, which we'll show you momentarily. It's a beautiful spot right there. So now we have this aftermarket battery mounting plate, and what this does, it allows the shift of the mounting position for any of the down tube batteries to be upwards. You'll notice that this bottle cage mount is more towards the middle, and we need the screw mounts to be up for the typical bottle cage or the down tube batteries that you find, and the one that we're going to use. So I'm shifting this all the way up, and you're going to want to watch the nose of the battery as it relates to the fold here on the handlebar stem. Alright, so you're going to need some screws, and we'll leave links for some. You might just be better off picking up at your local Ace or Home Depot or Lowe's, but the battery needs to slide over the head on these, so these are a little bit shallower. You cannot use what comes with the bike because you can see how tall they are and they won't slip over this. through practice, we have learned that this will rattle with the weight of the battery, so we're going to take a little roll of this double-sided tape, and it's Gorilla Glue tape, very strong. We're just going to roll it over on itself, and then we're going to stick it right underneath this adapter, and that will act as a shock absorber and more like a suspension when the battery gets on here. Go ahead and tighten these down. Now, like I said, you're going to want to watch the nose of the battery and see that you can turn the handlebars, and you can. So we're going to lock this up. It's on there securely. That is good. Now we do have a strap, a bike strap that will go around this. It's 2 inches wide, like this strap, and it'll just go around here if you feel like you want to secure this. We'll leave a link for that in there. It comes with 2. We use both, double up, and then just wrap around it. All right, we are now ready to go ahead and get the balancer installed. All right, tons of room in there. I'm gonna go ahead and take our 20 amp balancer from our kit, as well as one of the cables. And the first thing we're gonna do is run this cable up. We need to go ahead and get this in there for the second battery, so we need this end inside of the housing. So just flip this out of the way for a moment, and then bring this up through the hole in the bottom. And that goes. Go ahead and unplug the plate, and we're going to plug that into one of the inputs for the balancer here, like so. The other input will be the cable that we just ran up, and there's no real way to mess this up. There's only one orientation, and the last one, which is the male plug here, we're just going to plug right into the controller. Now, with the extension end outside of the frame, I can go ahead and take this battery and plug it in, and we should have power. So let me go ahead and see if I can get this thing to light up. There it is, and we'll put it in path 1. Now let's see. Perfect. So we do have power. Beautiful. Now what I can do, just to test the other one, is I'm just going to go ahead and unplug the battery that was the second, and then I'm just going to put the face plate onto here. Now I watch this, don't mess this up, but you look at the orientation, positive, negative on the plate, and then just match that up here. And we'll see if we have power again. Has 1. Beautiful. That's working. Excellent. Go ahead and plug this in again. Remove this plate. Now, I found an easier spot is to just slip it in on the bottom, just like so. Now let's just try and garner a little more room. There we go. Just like so. I'm going to close this up, making sure I don't pinch these wires. Bring this cabling right up through here just to take up some of the slack. And I'm going to run it here. And then I will leave a little bit of slack right here on the loop, and then I'm just going to zip tie it right here. And then that way I can open and close the bike without having to remove anything. So I already have the seat onto the bike case, bump stop seat post, but in case you're wondering, the torque measurements are printed on it. It's a hex head screw here, and then one here, and it's a plate setup. So you'll remove this, there'll be a little spring in there, just make sure you remember your orientation, and then you remove this one, and there'll be a spring in there, and then you slip this edge inside the rails of the seat here, and then you pinch with the plate, and then you just screw this back in. It's pretty easy. You don't want to tighten it all the way up because there's actually little teeth inside here that allow you to adjust the seat forward and back so you get it right. And then once you do that, you tighten up completely to the torque specifications here, or tight enough to where it doesn't move if you're doing it by hand. All right, so we'll just go ahead and pull this out. And then it comes with a shim. The sizing for the bike, the original seat post is 31.8, so you need a 31.8 27.2 millimeter shim. And you just put that in there and then tighten it down per usual, and then that's it. These are the straps. I've already got them tied to one another because we use them across a lot of the bikes that we have. But you can see they have this grippy side to them, which is really nice. And then they are 2 inches wide, which is good. And then what you'll notice on this is right here on the back, that rattle right there, and you'll want to stop that. When you do this, make sure not to capture the wiring. Go underneath the wiring, straight to the frame. Pull it over to the side here so I get the full depth of everything. There. And then just tighten it down. Now you can cut these. I choose not to because I use them across a lot of bikes, so I'm just going to slip the excess into the loop here. Well, there it is, the Lectric XP Lite 2.0 JW Black with the Gates carbon belt drive, dual battery setup with a 48 volt 15 amp hour battery and the factory 7.8 amp hour battery, and the bike case suspension seat post with the Cloud 9 suspension seat. It is a smooth ride. Now for me, this thing right around 10 to 12 miles an hour is where I do not really want to be pedaling anymore. It's extreme ghost pedaling. But why would I buy this bike? I like to have a bike in the back of my car, and this thing with its power output and the way it rides is a perfect folder to just throw in the back of my SUV and have, especially when I'm in downtown or at the parks. It's small enough, lightweight enough, and then if I really want to get it in, I can actually add that second battery without an issue at all, and I can fold the bike with that battery on there, which I really like. I'm going to go ahead and take you for a ride so you can hear the limited rattle, which we really like. Some of it is actually the battery internal, so keep that in mind. But this bike moves for 300 watts, so we are really impressed. A lot of e-bikes out on the trail. Now it comes up to 20 miles an hour, and then this is the peak of the Mica toll constant speed. So I would expect every bit of that 40 plus mile an hour, 40 plus mile range that we calculated in the video. And it goes over the bumps with ease. I know the first time I did this install, it rattled in the back, so it was definitely worthwhile to do this strap and then that little roll up front. Let's go ahead and get after it. All right, and we notice no conflict with the turn up here on the nose of the battery, so that's good. No issues there. Beautiful. And it does get after it. The wiring is tucked in right here, and then the loop is pretty good down here in between my legs, so I'm very satisfied with the way this works out on this bike. And if you have a second electric battery from like a Trike or an X Premium, you can actually use that one here instead of this, and it would look even better with the Lectric logo here on the side of it. Some rattle. What do you think?
It's the new one?
This is
Oh, the belt.
yeah, the Lite 2.0 with the belt drive.
What do they call it? Something
JW Black.
JW Black.
Yeah.
Like
What do you think? I mean,
alone.
yeah, this is for you for sure. Electrics everywhere. What's wrong with this one?
Oh, it's fixed.
Oh, nothing's wrong with it.
Nothing's wrong with it.
Because they brought it to Tarp and Tom's.
She's actually going to pick it up right now.
Excellent. Did old boy with the green bike? Did you ever Raul? Never.
We'll never resurface it.
We're resurface.
So I just need to do it. Hair's getting long, bro. I saw you riding home yesterday. I tried to film you, but I was too far ahead. Yeah. You look way bigger than this bike is intended. You were on the trail. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you. If I'm pedaling like at about 14, my cadence rate is just too much for me at this speed, and then rolling into it. Let me see if I can get it lower. This is PAS 2. All right, and this is decently comfortable. PAS 2 is a pretty high rate, honestly. That's a little much for what I want. And I'd say 1 is probably around 10. Let's see what it kicks in at. Nothing? Oh my. Oh yeah, there it is. 8. Holy moly. 8 to 9. Okay. So right in there, like 2 is too much of a jump, but the pedaling is smooth, and I know that the installation of this thing just makes it look a whole lot better, and the gearing feels really good, and there's no noise, and the maintenance on this is pretty much null. So pretty happy with this bike, and for me this would be the secondary bike in the back of the car, and it's a good looker too. There you have it. We have successfully installed a second 48-volt battery on this Lectric XP Lite 2.0 JW Black with the Gates carbon belt drive system. This thing is as smooth as it gets, looks nice and mean. We love it. We have more than doubled our range, and I know a lot of you stuck around for the range calculation, so let's just get to it. The factory battery is 7.8 amp hours, so 7.8 plus the second battery, which was 15, and you get 22.8 amp hours. Multiply that by 48 volts and you get 1094.4 watt hours. Now you're going to divide this by 25, and 25 is the Mica toll constant that says it's 25 watt hours per mile ridden at 20 miles an hour, throttle only, and you get 43.77 miles. That is crazy at 20 miles an hour. Now that is max speed for the XP Lite 2.0. Those of you who have been asking, we do not have an unlock throttle for this. Keep in mind this is only a 300 watt rear hub, so it's not going to be able to put it out like that. If you're wanting to go crazy with something nutsos, check out David Brand New's channel. He has done a 72 volt transition for one of the XP Lites. It's pretty awesome, so check out his channel and you can see some major mod on the XP Lite 2.0 or 1.0, I believe. And then if you're interested in the dual battery, we will leave links to the referred batteries in the description below, as well as the kit. We also have the Datex DX2, which will allow you a second port where you can actually add USB accessories inline to the system. Check out some of our other videos that show you the concept. Pretty easy install. And then we have the Bike Case Beetle Case cell phone bag that will hold it externally for you. You are not restricted to this battery. You can use any 48 volt battery you want. Just make sure you have XT60 connections and that you have the length and it is appropriately set up. You're going to need a mounting place as well. Keep in mind, the Bike Case suspension seat post is the premium edition for any extended range e-bike that you have. It will save your bum. You can thank me later. And also check out the ElectricAllWheel plug and play thumb throttle for Lectric. It works with everything except for the X Premium. And the newer bikes where the trigger shift is in the way on the right hand side, you would have to do another modification for your gear shifting to actually make that work. Pretty clean install, goes in pretty quickly. We are happy with the new sizing of the controllers. The 1.0s and 2.0s, the XPs, it was a little bit stiff in there. So with the newer stuff, it's a pretty easy install, and it's just one cable out if you're using this style battery plus the strap. This will keep all of your rattling, plus that little roll up here stops all of the rattling for this mount, just like this. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out E-Bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. Check out ElectricAllWheel.com for all of our other products, and look down the channel for multiple variety of dual battery videos. And want to say a special shout out and thank you to Lectric e-bikes. They've been really good to the ElectricAllWheel channel, so we really appreciate that. We will talk to you next time.